Welcome, everybody, to Ignite Humanity Live. I hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are in the world and you're ready to ignite humanity today with me. I'm your host, Lady JB. I was hoping you were watching that trailer, like igniting love and sparking adventure and taking risks. I hope that when you see that trailer, the beginning of the show, it actually sparks inside of you something interesting and dynamic where you feel like, you know what, I want to take some risks. I want to go after some adventure. I want to create a little bit of love. And let's talk about today. Friday, I want to build some beautiful connections. Connections is really, truly, we are a human species. We love connections. We love to be around one another. But really, today, I want to talk about the power of the connection you have with yourself, that powerful connection you have with you, and how you treat yourself and how you take care of yourself. We've got a great guest today that's going to be talking about health and wellness. And I was thinking about before the show started, it's interesting what we eat. When they say you are what you eat, it truly is. Think about it for a moment. If you eat junk food, how often do you feel junky and you're not feeling so great? When you eat crappy food, do you feel crappy? Versus when you eat food that's alive, you feel alive. With you eat healthy food, you feel healthy. When you eat sweet food, you feel sweet. When you eat spicy food, you feel spicy. And so it's so easy to just think about that before you put something in your mouth. What does this food make me feel like? What is this food? Is it alive? Is it healthy? Is it fatty? Is it chemicals? Is it processed? And really just ask yourself, the emotion that is connected to that food is the emotion that is connected to you, and the connection that you want to make with yourself and your food and your life and the way you go out into the world. That is a big part of how you are going to show up and ignite humanity. I know it sounds so interesting because everyone feels like igniting humanity is out there. It's something you do outward, and it is, but it really starts from the inward. And so this show and everything we do is designed to help you feel connected to you, to your life, to your aspirations, to your dream, to the desires, the things that you're going towards. And that is going to help you be an example for humanity and do something powerful to inspire others through a very, very effective ripple effect. All right. Well, if you'd like to know what we're up to and you're like, what is this Ignite Humanity thing? Go to our website and check out what we're all about, because we are committed to igniting humanity. And we want to make sure that we provide the best content on the planet that is designed to make sure that you feel inspired to ignite your life and ignite the lives of others. All right, well, let's get to our guest, because I know that this conversation is going to be fabulous. So lean in and get your note paper, because we are talking with Dr. Pierce. He uses lab-based eating and detoxification, chiropractic, functional neurology, rehab, and QEEG with neurofeedback to help chronic brain problems. Do I know that sounds like a lot, but guess what? We have to take care of our brains. That's right. He has taught continuing biochemistry education for thousands of doctors, counselors, and interns, and runs a nonprofit clinic. He has a YouTube channel called The Human Condition, and he's exploring health and lifestyle issues on that show. Fantastic. So excited to meet with him. Welcome, Dr. Pierce, to the show.
Oh, thank you, JB.
So glad to have you here. As you can tell, I love to talk about food and health and nutrition. And so this is going to be a fantastic conversation. Right out of the gate, would you say that there is one thing, kind of the one thing that you feel is going to ignite humanity in your realm and sort of in your expertise? Is there sort of like that one thing you could distill it down to?
Well, I think don't be afraid to experiment on yourself. Being able to experiment on yourself and do things and trust your body. That's the most important thing, is to trust your body and know that you can try elimination diets, you can try new foods, you can try new supplements, and your body will tell you what it likes and what it wants if you have ears to hear it.
Well, that's interesting, because a lot of us have been told, listen to your doctor, do what your doctor says, your doctor knows best, and not listen to ourselves. And so that's a really great suggestion right out of the gate, that we have the power to listen to ourselves, to be more intuitive instead of being told what we should be doing.
Yes, it's so common. Everybody's told all kinds of things from the beginning. You must do this, you must do that, and they don't question. I think questioning that is very important. That's the scientific method.
Oh, fantastic. So when someone comes to you and they question, are they questioning their health to get better? Are they questioning their illnesses and why they're feeling that way? What is really going on when people are starting to feel dis-ease in their body?
Yeah, I think they need to question two things. One is they need to question what did they do originally and was it the right thing? Maybe they thought they were eating the right way and they didn't know that maybe that was propagandized, commercial industrial complex kind of news. Maybe they didn't know that there was a special interest behind some of those guidances. And then the second thing is that they can do things for themselves. They can try stuff and they can question their doctor. In fact, I love it when people question me. I want them to come in and say, "I don't believe you. Give me more evidence. Give me more examples. Give me books. Give me YouTube channels to watch. Give me more resources so that I can understand the issue."
What would you say is sort of one of your fundamental theories or philosophies that everybody could adopt?
Boy, the body's a self-healing organism. You need to realize that the body is self-healing, and if we can just get all this stuff out of the way, which is toxins and deficiencies and scary thoughts and painful thoughts, if we can get those things out of the way and begin to remove them and control them and work on them, that the body does heal itself, the mind does heal itself, and that they're related. What you eat matters in how you feel. You can't separate mental health from physical health and gut health.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point because if someone keeps thinking that they're unwell or thinking they're going to get sick or thinking that something's going to happen, that thinking can produce that in the body. Is that true?
Sure. Sure. You end up with problems that creep up and we've compartmentalized all this stuff. We go to the doctor and we go to one kind of doctor and we tell them about this problem. And we go to another doctor and we tell them about the other problem. But we don't tell any doctor all of the problems, and they're all related. That's kind of the dirty little secret of medicine, is that it's all related. If you've got
Hmm.
a problem, it's related to the other problem, guaranteed.
So, a mental problem, a gut problem, a back problem, a skin problem, all of those things, bad breath, they all kind of interplay with one another.
Yeah, if you've got a sprained ankle, you're going to have inflammatory cytokines that can go through your blood from that ankle, cross the blood brain barrier, and cause inflammation. And that affects your mental health.
Wow, it's fascinating. And at the same time, you and I were talking a little bit before the show. I'm sure if you're feeling depressed and sad and lonely, you might be walking around with your head down or not paying attention and cause yourself to fall or cause yourself to trip or cause yourself to eat the wrong thing, or those things are obviously interconnected.
Yes, yes. In chiropractic neurology, my specialty, we very much deal with falls. Over 50 falls are one of the largest causes of death and disease and maiming in people, beyond other infectious diseases.
And what is the cause? I mean, what is happening? People are falling because they're over 50, they're just losing their balance, losing their equilibrium, not seeing their eyesight. What is causing the falls over 50?
Well, it's all of the above. It's our culture. We don't pay attention to our eyesight. We don't pay attention to our brain and our balance and our cerebellum, which is back here, that coordinates our balance and our stability. We don't do exercises and we don't walk on uneven surfaces. We don't walk enough. We don't exercise enough. We have insulin resistance. Nearly 90% of us have bad results on our blood tests that show that we're metabolically or chemically unhealthy. So it's all of the above. We're really doing all kinds of things wrong as a culture, and there's a lot of hope for us to fix that and prevent it.
Well, I'm a big proponent of keeping my brain healthy. Any ideas and suggestions that people like myself or everyday people watching the show, we can do something to keep our brain health better?
Well, start with looking at insulin resistance. The most important thing in America is looking at insulin resistance, which is really an intolerance of refined carbs. And so I'm not going to tell you what kind of diet to eat because I don't know what you need, but the general concept is to reduce refined carbs and reduce artificial chemicals and flavors and colors and preservatives and haptens. These are all the words that we use for these things. But try to eat natural, try to eat lower carb, try to eat more natural, healthy protein and complex carbs and less refined foods. If there's a label on the food, you want to eat less of it.
And so give me an example. So what is the one food that we're eating in North America so much that we should not be eating?
Well, bread and pasta. If it's ground, if it's refined grain and it's bread and pasta, whether it's a muffin that's made from ground flax seeds, or whether it's ground wheat or ground rice, or it's made from almond flour, it's still made of ground flour, and that's going to be a high glycemic burden, and that's going to be a problem for the brain over time. So we really want to reduce the refined flours if we can. That's a big deal.
That's a great suggestion. And then let's flip the coin. What kinds of things should we be adding to or increasing in our diet?
Well, the big secret of humans is, what's the ultimate superfood? The ultimate superfood for humans is organ meats. Now, I know organ meats don't taste great, but the wonderful thing about them is that we can freeze dry them and take them as pills. We can also cook them in different ways. We can also provide flavored and marinated jerkies. We can blend them with meat that is, steak and burger meat. We can blend them together in smaller amounts and consume them. So really, freeze dried liver and even raw organ meats in some cases, if they're safely processed, raw organ meats in small amounts are very much of a superfood. They give us all the vitamins, all the minerals, all the things that we need, along with animal products. There are also great things that vegans can do and vegetarians can do as well. There are ketogenic vegan diets that are fantastic for the brain and work very well for brain disorders.
And what's your idea? Like, I remember someone telling me one time, we used to run and chase our food and get exercise. We used to fish and, dive in and swim and do things to catch our fish. We used to climb and pick berries. And we just really lost a lot of the physicality around getting our body ready to eat, because we're not doing the physical things. We're driving up to the drive-thru, reaching our arm out, pulling in the bag, and that's about the extent of it. Is there a correlation between the physical that we do prior to eating or even post eating?
Well, gosh, I mean, the best exercise for humans is walking. And it's very important for us to be social. Humans are very, very social. We need to eat together, ideally. We need to walk together, ideally. We need to have lots and lots of eye movements and head movements, because that's what we're programmed for. Any animal that has eyes that face forward needs to have that kind of stimulation. We don't want to necessarily talk about super deep things and have lectures during eating, because then we choke and we can't handle all that. So we don't want to have highly emotional or highly intense conversations, but we want to have some interaction while we eat together and be social. And really, we've got to walk.
Yeah, that's a really important thing. Now, just yesterday, I was hearing about a client who was doing silence while eating to really absorb the food and to really concentrate on chewing, to really think about the digestion. I was like, I don't know if I like eating in silence, but I like your idea a bit better, like eating in a social environment. But I can see the value in both, because what it's really saying is to pay attention. Either way, pay attention. And I think we become very non-paying attention. We're just putting things in our mouth and we don't even really know. We're not concentrating at all or being conscious about what we're eating.
Yes. And one of the things for that, one of the reasons because of that is taste. A lot of us have been poisoned with heavy metals or poisoned with pesticides, and we've slowly lost our sense of taste. And I'm not talking about the sudden loss from COVID. I'm talking about the slow slide downhill from toxic exposure and having not enough amino acids and fatty acids and enough minerals, especially zinc, so that we lose our sense of taste. And it happens slowly and it sneaks up on us.
Well, that's interesting, because I always think like food just doesn't taste the same anymore. I remember as a kid, peaches and strawberries and peas out of the garden. I mean, I feel bad for my children, because I say to them, like, this isn't really what a raspberry should taste like. This isn't really what bananas really taste like. And I find it interesting. I just felt like food was changing, not necessarily my taste buds changing.
I think you're right. It's both. Food is changing, and even organic food isn't guaranteed to have all the minerals in it. It's very important for us to get the basic minerals, not just the vitamins, but the minerals. And there's 60 or 70 minerals that we need that aren't radioactive, that we need to get in our bodies. Again, like zinc and calcium and manganese, that kind of thing.
Well, 2 summers ago, I went traveling with my kids across the country, and every single farmer's market or side stand, fruit stand, we were pulling over, and the kids were like, why do you keep doing that? Why? I'm like, wait till you taste Saskatoons. Wait till you taste these peaches. Wait till you taste these cherries. Oh my gosh, you're going to love these carrots. The kids thought that I was so weird, but buying them from the farm and getting them like right out of the garden truly did absolutely taste different. And I'm like a huge proponent of eating food that has flavor. So I so agree. Well, we're on the food track, and that's great. We could talk about this forever. Is there something else that's sort of really important that I'm not asking you about when it comes to how we should be taking care of our human condition?
Well, I think for me, an elimination diet is the most important secret. Is being able to say that there are foods, not just processed foods, but even natural foods that are otherwise good foods that might not be so good for you. I had some pretty bad illnesses as a child, and by doing elimination diets, we were able to get rid of that. And being able to get rid of certain foods that were previously thought of as good helped me understand how I could be healthier and I could have a better brain. And so I think that's really important to learn that there are elimination diets and there are ways to reduce different kinds of foods that might make you feel better.
Yeah, I mean, I eat corn, I feel terrible. I eat onions, I feel terrible. So I just say like, "Hello, that's just not for me." It's great for other people. I've had lots of people's, I don't like radishes, I don't like leeks, I don't like that certain, food things. That's just me, but it's just listening to that instead of saying, "Oh, everybody's going out for, pizza and they're going to have caramelized onions and everybody's going to put some corn on it and some salsa." I'm like, "Okay, so not for me." Because
Yes.
it's just not fit my body. And I think a lot of times we don't listen to that and we don't honor that because, well, again, the book said, the doctor said, somebody said this is a really good food to eat. And we're not respecting that it's not good for us.
Oh gosh, JB, you're right. That sounds like a combination of a lectin intolerance and a sulfur intolerance. And I can eat corn in Mexico, but I can't eat corn in the United States. Did you know that?
Wow. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Because the processing is different.
The GMO and the processing, absolutely. The hybridization,
Amazing.
yeah.
Now, you alluded to it a little bit. You said that you weren't well as a child. What was the precipice? What was the catalyst for this amazing work that you do?
God, well, when I was 7 years old, I had, even prior to that, I had all kinds of problems. And the worst of them was an eczema inside the folds of your elbows and your knees and the groin and your fingers was just itchy red. And I would scratch it until it bled. And it was awful, along with other things like migraine headaches, which I didn't even know what they were till I was older, and other digestive problems and brain problems and coordination problems. And so we went to all the doctors and nobody could figure it out. And you go to the gleaming clinics with, back then it was all about science and gleaming laboratories and everything was pristine and clean and you didn't want anything dirty or holistic. You wanted everything scientific. And Tang was the big food back then, right? The processed drink. And so we would go to all these doctors, we'd get all these treatments and nothing would work. And then we discovered elimination diets. We read the books of Robert Rodale of Rodale Press, and we read all kinds of other stuff. And there was just so many things out there. There was even the famous Dr. Mendelsohn, The Confessions of a Medical Heretic. He was a famous doctor who sent out newsletters. And so we would do an elimination diet. And when we got it right, I got better like that within a few
Mm.
weeks. And I was amazed and I felt better. I felt like I was coming out of a coma. I was conscious, but I felt like I was coming out of a fog and my skin cleared up and my brain cleared up. And I think that's what led to, what I ended up doing in natural medicine.
It's such a great story because I always say there's these ignite moments, these things that happen in your life, and maybe they weren't pleasant. You were scratching and bleeding, like obviously a very traumatic scenario for a young child. And yet it was this beautiful gift that was given to you in some way because now look at the expertise that you have and the millions of lives that you are saving and helping and supporting. I just find that such a wonderful chain of events and really why we do this show, because we want people to realize maybe you're going through a struggle, maybe there's a trial and a tribulation in your life, but really, what if it was the thing that was going to springboard you into your magnificence? And Dr. Pierce, you're a perfect example of that. I love that you share that so much. Is there something you would like people to take home with and really understand from this conversation that they have the power to accelerate and improve their health themselves?
Well, yes. With the internet now, there's so much to look at. There is low carb down under online. There's my YouTube channel online. There's resources like the American Chiropractic Neurology Board.org, acnb.org. There's clinicians who can help you with and without drugs. There's natural doctors. There's your own groups of study groups that can help you. Find a community, join a community, do work on your own, but don't feel alone. It's very easy to feel alone when you do it yourself, because some people are real strong do-it-yourselfers, and some people say, "Man, I need some help." And
Mhm.
so, whether you need a doctor or you just want to join a group or you want to do it yourself, there's hope for all three sectors. There's really hope for all three personalities and approaches. But you got to try. You got to trust your body. You got to try, and your body will tell you what's wrong. And sometimes it'll get worse before it gets better. And you may need some help interpreting those symptoms, because the body is pretty magical in how it will give you symptoms. And in fact, I had a wonderful diagnosis professor who used to teach us in school. He said, "Your patient has written on their forehead what their diagnosis is, if only you have eyes to see it."
Oh. That's true. I was doing a detox one time and I just got this massive rash all over my chest and then my back. And I was just like, what is going on? And my doctor was like, it's awesome. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. Let it happen. Let it happen. And I was like, what do I got to do to stop it? And I learned actually then that to not stop anything. If your body is burping or has to go to the bathroom or has to throw up or has to expel stuff, let it. Don't try to stop it and prevent it. And I think that's one of the things that we don't want to go through any discomfort at all, but we're actually suppressing a lot of the things that our bodies need to do and need to get through.
Yeah, we should interpret our symptoms, and we should learn to interpret our symptoms. And it's a little gross, but we should also be able to look at our stool and understand what that means. We should be able to look at our stool and understand what changes in that means. That's super important. The changes in our own odor, the changes in our own sweat, the changes in our own mood, the changes in our own level of alertness, even how our hair and nails grow. All of that's important. Your skin.
I think it's fascinating because when I had my first child, I was all about that. Everything was the stool and the nails and the smell and the skin. And I was just, always analyzing the baby from all of these other things, tongue color, all of that, pee smell. People thought
Yes.
I was crazy, but the baby can't tell you. And so you have to look at these other ways. And then it's interesting as we get older and or else as they get older or we even get older, we don't use that same technique on ourselves to just really honor and take care of ourselves. You are so interesting because you just truly remind me how important our bodies are, how important our health is, and how we have the power. What you said is so great. Like, do something. Don't be helpless. Don't do nothing. Just do something. Try something and see if that's a good fit for you.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, even racing thoughts. We talked earlier about symptoms that were more physical, but racing thoughts and depression are also often a sign of food intolerances. So when somebody has anxiety or depression, one of the first things they should consider is, what did I eat recently? What supplements did I take recently? What toxins was I exposed to recently?
It's such a good thing. Anything we can do just with all of the computers, the phone, the iPad, iBuds, anything you is something as a quick fix for us to just take care of our EMF overload.
Oh gosh, every night we should turn off all the EMFs and make sure that the power meters are not blasting, because the biggest exposure to EMF is those power meters, those remote power meters that are the utilities. They're even more strong than your phone. So it's important to look at those. It's important to make sure your phone is off or a number of feet away from you. It's very important to make sure you're not exposed to EMFs while you sleep. During the day, you don't want those touching your body. You don't want your phone touching your body. The guidelines say we don't want this thing touching your skin. Put it in a bag, put it in a briefcase, put it away from you, put it on a desk. Don't have it touching your body. Those are two very important things for EMFs.
Oh, so all the guys who are carrying their phones in their pockets, stop doing that.
Yeah, we really don't want it against the skin. The guidelines in print say that. Don't put these things next to your skin or your ear, which is kind of odd. You're not supposed to put it here. No, the guidelines say don't do that.
That's so great. My sister has a little wand that she carries and always puts it on speaker. And I think that she's so funny, but actually it makes so much sense because she's just holding it instead of putting it against her ear. Those sisters are smart sometimes. All right. Well, we're just about to wrap up. Again, we could talk forever. Tell us how we can find you. How can people get in touch with you, learn more about the amazing work you're doing?
Well, we've put a lot of resources and about 80 videos on the YouTube channel. It's The Human Condition with Dr. Pierce. We're also on a whole bunch of podcasts. Any of the podcast outlets, you'll find us in audio. And in the YouTube, there's a whole bunch of notes below, the show notes. They give many, many resources of free places you can go to find clinicians, to find doctors, to find me, to find resources, to find other YouTubers. And so please check out that YouTube channel. Our website will be up soon. It's not up right now. It's being fixed for maintenance. But when that comes up, that will also be on the YouTube show notes.
Fantastic. Well, I love hearing from you, and we're going to talk after the show. I'd love to know more about my corn and onion thing. And of course, my mental health and my brain energy. I just love that. I gotta be around for another 50 years to keep igniting humanity. And so I've got to take care of myself. I love everything that you have shared. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. And use the doctor locator function on acnb.org to find chiropractic neurologists like me around the world.
What a great suggestion. Thank you so much, Dr. Pierce. Have a great and healthy day.
Thanks, JB.
As you can see, we love to talk about health because, of course, if we're going to make an impact on the planet, we have to take care of our own health. And through the things that we eat, how we feel, how we think, how we enjoy ourselves, those things matter. And so it's Friday today. So I encourage you, wherever you are in the world, do something today to increase your mental health. Do something to love yourself, to have fun, to laugh, enjoy. Eat tonight with friends and family and people that you feel good with. Have light, wonderful, enjoyable conversations. Think of something new to talk about tonight at the dinner table instead of what you always chat about. Be creative, maybe design the table differently, move it around, eat in a different room. Really start activating your mind and your body and your brain in a way that is going to support and help you. If you'd like to watch this episode again or any of our episodes, please check out our website. We love to have you watch our shows, and we want you to gain valuable information from them. We make them entirely free to you. They are available. Just go to the link below, and you can see all of our episodes with our very many guests from around the globe. Now, you can also support us in our charity. We are igniting lives and igniting humanity by building schools, and we love to ignite literacy. Now, you and I both know that when children can learn to read and be educated, they increase their opportunities tenfold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. And so if you'd like to be a part of what we're doing to ignite humanity, please go to the link below, and you can be donating to our schools as we ignite literacy around the globe. Super excited to be traveling to Indonesia for our school build there. Well, if you want to know what we're doing at Ignite Humanity, go to our website, because we've got all kinds of things going on, including an incredible compilation book that we are writing, looking for stories like yours to be in this amazing book about igniting humanity, talking about your Ignite moment. Please go to our website and let us know if you've got a story to share in the Ignite Humanity book. And if you want to be on the show, well, just let us know. Go to the link below and get fill out our type form. Tell us about who you are and what you do, and we would love to have you on the show. All right, well, big hugs and kisses to you. Do something healthy and fantastic. It's a Friday. That means Connections Day. Do this. Put your arms out, wrap them around yourself, give yourself a hug. All right, we'll see you Monday.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.